Hey, welcome back to my water signs. This is the reading for May, and we're looking at Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. So here we go. It's a 6 placement spread for those of you who are new to my channel. Also, please remember to subscribe and like and let your friends know about me. Little by little, I'm trying to build up this channel. And as always, we start with a Moonology Oracle deck to get a message from Spirit about the energy coming in for the month of May. A win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. Alrighty. A win-win. Alrighty, and let's see how this comes out for you for the month of May. Please remember, this is a collective reading, so you might need to understand the messages to your own personal situation. This is a collective reading for our water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. The next house is the house of interpersonal relationships. So this can mean family, friends, chosen family, new spouses, old spouses, possible new love matches coming your way. Oh, how beautiful. What a perfect card for the house of interpersonal relationships. It's the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is a very loving, caring, nurturing person. Good advice, very comforting. This is a person who can create a wonderful atmosphere, the kind of person people just love to be around, you know. Very just, the aura, the spirit when you're in their presence is just, think about warm and fuzzies. So this for your month of May, you either might run into a person, be with a person that's like that, or you might be that person. You might need to be that loving, kind, caring person, you know? So, but when the situation happens, you'll know. Here's how you'll know. Spirit is telling me how you will know. When the situation happens that the Queen of Cups is available, is there, you are going to feel goosebumps on your skin, and you're going to feel a rush of warmth in your body. You're going to feel warm, a good warm, not a hot flash, not an uncomfortable warm, but like, you know, when you get that sense of, ooh, this feels so nice, you're going to get a sense of warmth in your body, and you're going to get goosebumps. So when this happens, I want you to come back to this channel, and I want you to put it in the comments, okay? Guarantee you it's going to happen during the month of May. When Spirit talks, Spirit is definitely saying something. You know, I don't think you're going to be the Queen of Cups. I think the Queen of Cups is going to come towards you. Yeah. Sometimes when you start the reading, you get more and more info from Spirit. This is somebody that's going to come towards you, either somebody you already know or somebody that you need to know, who's going to bring this sense of comfort and love into your environment. All right, let's talk about the next house. This is what I call the house of resources. And the house of resources has to do with like physical, tangible resources. So it could be work related, school related, it could be economics, your finances, things in your home. Okay, so this is all about that. Oh, interesting. You know, if you go and look at I think it was my last video, Earth. It's either Earth or Fire, or Fire. We had Ace and Ace. Ace for the house of interpersonal relationships, and another Ace for um, the House of Resources, and they were both one upright and one downright. And the same thing just happened here because we had the Queen of Cups for House of Resources, and we got the Queen of Swords for your interpersonal relationship, Queen of Cups, and we got the Queen of Swords for your House of Resources. Now, for those of you who are new to tarot or just you're not readers, swords are about cognition, about mind, about communication, about analysis, the very logical kind of aspects of your being. And the Queen of Swords is usually a very sharp kind of person. She's quick-witted. She's great with oral communication. She's the kind of person, I know, I have a coworker who is like this, and she thinks like 10 steps ahead of everybody else. Very clever, very bright. But you have the opposite. You have the opposite, which is going to be very interesting because unlike the Queen of Cups in the upright, the Queen of Swords in the opposite, downward, can be, excuse my language, a real bitch. She really can. She could be really nasty with her tongue and very cutting, very shady. Somebody's going to put in the comments like you. No, not like me. I'm not that kind of shady. This is a nasty shady. This is a gossiper. This is somebody who's also, not to get political, what's her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene? Like that, you know, who thinks they're really smart and clever, but they're just obnoxious and very opinionated. This is kind of like, yeah, she's kind of like the, you know, reverse of the Queen of Swords, like that Marjorie Taylor Greene. And if you hate me for my politics, say, just leave a comment anyway. Tell me how much you hate me in the comments. But that's the kind of person. So because it's in your House of Resources, this is somebody who either might be, you know, at your work site or somebody you know in regards to work, or somebody at school, or somebody that you might be dealing with in regards to financial issues, or maybe getting your paperwork done for something in regards to resources, who's just going to be like a negative person, you know? Say, okay, this didn't happen to me. I just went to the DMV, and these people actually happen to be amazing and helpful. However, remember the stereotype of the DMV worker where you would go in and that DMV worker would just be very nasty and abrupt and da-da-da? That's the kind of situation I'm thinking of that you're going to experience for the month of May. You're going to go into some kind of institution, and the person you're dealing with is going to be very nasty and negative towards you, okay? Maybe it's a customer service person, maybe it's a banking person, maybe it's your job, school, but that person is going to be nasty. And they're going to be pig-headed, and you're just not going to be, and it's frustrating. And I'm telling you that because you need to be ready to deal with that. Okay, so while you might have one person who's loving and caring for you, you're going to have another person who's nasty. Now, what can happen is you might run it, just because this came out first and second doesn't mean that's how order happens, right? Because there's no, time is not linear when it comes to tarot. You might run into this person, and she might create the worst day for you. She might be like, like drama. And then you might go somewhere else, and you're going to find somebody who's going to listen to you, who's going to support you in this, and just remind you, hey, it's not you, it's her, you know? So very interesting that you got the two queens, one upright and one negative. All right, let's take a look at your challenges for the month of May with my water signs. And you know what's, I hate when I get these, especially for water signs, because water signs are, you're very in your, you could be very in your feelings, and you're very empathetic, and you tend to be empaths as well. So when you meet people like that, you really feel it in your heart of hearts. You feel it down to your bones, you know? And it takes a little bit of time to shake it off. All right. So a jumper card that came up is the Hangman in reverse. So the Hangman, who that usually looks like this, is a kind of like a timeout phase where you need to kind of take a breath, reassess the situation, try to look at things from a different perspective, kind of just look at things and try to figure them out a little bit better. Okay. But this is in the reverse. Okay. So what happens is that when you're in the reverse, you're not taking the time that you need to really stop and analyze what's happening or see things for what they are. And because you're not doing that, it kind of leaves you a little off balance. Do you see how this person is on one foot? Okay. So when you're on one foot, you're trying to balance yourself, but it's hard because you really don't have all the information that you need and you're struggling to stay upright. Okay. You are basically forcing yourself to understand something without really taking the time to gather all the information, right? Because if you were like this, you could take the time, see how relaxed he is. You could sit back, get really gather the information, process it. But when you're like this, you're really not doing that. You're kind of just trying to do things very hesitant, hastily. Hastily is the word. And it's your challenge. Your challenge is that you need to slow that down. You can't do that. You can't just rush and get things done or make moves or this, and that. What I'm thinking about is, because tarot sometimes just gives you a whole story, so you might end up meeting a person like this, and she triggers you. She triggers you, right? And I'm using she just because it's a queen, but it could be a male, could be non-binary, just so we get that straight. The queen triggers you. And you just want to get up and go. And you just want to just do this, and I want to do that. Fuck the bitch. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I don't need these people. I'm going to call the supervisor. I'm going to do that. And the challenge is not to do that, because when you act impulsively like that, and when you act without the right data, the right information, the right documents, you're going to create more problems for who? Not for them, for yourself. Okay, so the challenge is not to act hastily, okay, to just relax and gather the information and do what you need to do for yourself. That's the challenge for you. Let's take a look at your strength cards. Okay. The strength is the 10 of Wands. So the 10 of Wands is 10 obviously is a number of completion and moving towards the end of a cycle in your life and possibly starting something new. And if you look, the 10 of Wands is like, creativity and projects and inspiration and things like that. But you could see he's laboring. He's laboring to get all these things done. And see the house? He's almost there, okay? He's carrying it through, but he's also weary. He's weary. But it's a strength. It's a strength because you're coming to the end of whatever issue is driving you crazy. And, if you just hold on and you don't rush and make impulsive moves, you're going to be able to complete whatever it is that you need to get over, okay, or finish. So just hold on and you're almost there. All right, let's get the final card. This comes from the Cosmic Journey Oracle, and this is the message from Spirit. And let's see what Spirit has to say to you. There are no wrong turns. Okay, no wrong turns. There are no wrong turns. Interesting. I'm kind of wondering. I'm wondering if at some point in dealing with all of this chaos in the month of May, you are beating yourself up. You start feeling like you made the mistake, that you are the one who screwed up. And Spirit is telling you, no, relax, relax. We're going to get this taken care of. It's a win-win. They're going to get what they need. You're going to get what you need. And there were no mistakes. There are no wrong turns. You didn't screw up. You didn't mess up. And I got to say it. There's no kids on this channel. You're not a fuck up. Spirit. This is Spirit's way of saying you're not a fuck up. Okay? My water signs, you're good. You're good people. And shit happens. You're not a fuck up. That's what Spirit is telling you. There are no wrong turns, okay? And, just because you did it this way doesn't mean you did it wrong. Just because you did it that way, it's just new possibilities, new ways of doing it. It's not bad or good. It's just different, okay? So it's a win-win outcome towards the end of May. You got this. All right, my water signs. Thank you for letting me read for you. Please leave comments, okay? Please subscribe if you're new to my channel. Share my channel with people you may know. Little by little, I'm at the point where I want this channel to start growing. For a while, I just kind of kept it on the DL. But now I'm like, you know what? Now it's time let's get it to grow a little bit more. All right. Have a good one. See you in the following month. Bye.
Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.